What would you prefer? Knowing somebody personally, firsthand, or hearing about that person from somebody else's perspective? What would you prefer? My search for God started after my trip to Israel. On the way back on the plane, I had the strong desire to know who God is. I wanted to know Him personally, not from somebody's perspective. So I started reading the Bible from the beginning. Upon arriving home, I was very sick and I was diagnosed with an incurable illness. And through that illness, I found God because He healed me from it. He revealed Himself to me. I heard His voice telling me, I give you life, and I've experienced His power and His healing and His loving personality personally. Before knowing God, I was dealing with a lot of personal problems. I was having a lot of emotional pain, anxiety, chronic pain. I was having problems that I wasn't able to solve on my own. And as I was growing in the knowledge of God, He was teaching me to trust in Him to provide those solutions. And those solutions were working, and He was healing me. He was restoring me. He was solving my issues. And in turn, He was giving me peace and joy, which didn't depend on my circumstances. Over time, as I was studying the Word with the assistance of the Holy Spirit, He was teaching me how to yield to God and how to trust in Him to provide all the solutions. If you're interested in the tools that I used and still use to study God from the Bible, to learn more about Him, there's a free guide for you available in the description area below. As you all know, no progress is smooth gliding. There have been many challenges that I've faced, inconsistency, and where I just didn't feel like studying. But over time, I just became more consistent, and I felt like I was getting so many benefits from studying, from learning more about who God is. He kept drawing me close to Him, and the experiences just kept wanting me to come. As I was experiencing God and knowing Him better, I was seeing His mercy, His grace, His patience, and I wanted to be more like Him. And that desire was enough for Him to start to transform my heart. And as we know, if we want to change the world, we have to start with ourselves. And God is there for us to be more like Him, because we are created in His image. There were two major challenges I was facing in this journey, one of them being inconsistency, but that kind of came with practice and with just keep coming back to learning more about God, reading more about Him, and the more I was drawn to Him, the more consistent I became. The second challenge was the unpleasant pain of the growth change, the change of the mentality, obtaining the mind of Christ and changing the thinking patterns. That was the most challenging, but it's short-lived, and then the benefits are well worth it. Having that peace that doesn't depend on your circumstances, and having that joy doesn't depend on your circumstance, that comes from within, and having a beautiful relationship with God and a trusting relationship where I know I can always come to Him with anything. My number one tip, if you decided to embark on this journey in knowing God, is to communicate to Him absolutely everything that you're experiencing and feeling, all the challenges. If you feel sad, if you feel hurt, if it's too difficult for you, if you feel like you're lacking strength, come to Him with absolutely everything, and He's going to help you. And the second tip is use that free guide that I have for you, which is in the description below. It will help you, give you step by step how to stay with this consistently, and it's worked for me and it will work for you. The decision to knowing God has been the best decision I made in my life ever. It's one of the decisions I have zero regrets about, because I know where He took me out of. He took me from this dark pit. He took me from this hell, and He brought me into His light. He gave me clarity. He gave me mercy. He allowed me to know who I am, and He gave me so much joy and peace. And that is available to everyone equally. My dear friends, thank you. And one more thank you for taking your time and watching this video. I hope you have taken at least one positive thing for you that will help you in this journey, and maybe give you this desire to have this experience with God, to get to know Him, and to allow Him to show you His love, His mercy, His grace, to fill your heart with His joy, and to give you a life that will have sense of fulfillment. And if you have any questions, if you are struggling with something, need a prayer or need support, you can email me. The email is in the description below, and you can also get that free guide which will help you on this journey. And it would mean a great deal for me if you could share this video and hit like and make a comment. You can post your question in the comment section, and I will answer your questions as well there. Thank you.